Hey, Modern Math teacher. Kristen here, your host of the Modern Math Teacher podcast. And today we're going to talk about a topic that is equal parts exciting and overwhelming. We are tackling grading, you guys. And more specifically, what does mastery actually look like in a modern math class? So, if you have ever been curious about mastery based grading and you've thought to yourself, like, how do I do mastery based grading on a traditional grading scale? Or do I need to throw out my whole grade book to make this work? Or what does a 4 point scale like really mean in math? You are in the right place. We're going to break down how to use mastery based grading practices in real classrooms, the kinds with pacing guides, district policies, and all that. Okay. I use mastery based grading for 10 plus years of my teaching experience so far. And full disclosure, I'm not using it right now because I am in the middle of a pilot, but this is how I've actually used it in my classroom in all the different teaching scenarios that I have been in. So this actually works in real classrooms, in real districts where you still have to use the 100 point scale and you're not, able to change your grade book and everything. So if you're interested, this is the episode for you. Okay, let's go ahead and break this down. First up, mastery isn't about being perfect. Okay. We want to talk about like what mastery means and what it doesn't. So mastery means that your students have the ability to show that they've got it. They understand it and that they're understanding it at the level that we expect. This does not mean, right, that they got 100% the first time. Frequently not. It does not mean that we never go back and revisit our skills. And it definitely does not mean that every kid moves at the same pace. Okay. Mastery based grading really leans into student centered learning. And in a student centered learning environment, mastery is about clarity and opportunity. Okay. So, clarity meaning your students know what they're supposed to be learning and what success and mastery looks like for that. Opportunity then is the ability to go more than once at it, right? They get more than one shot to get there. So, mastery based classrooms, that's where we're shifting the focus from like earning points, right? Like I got 8 out of 10 points on this to actually demonstrating learning. And that is where the real magic is happening. So, it's a big mindset shift. It's a big grading shift, but it's something that I fully believe in. And I'm really excited to share with you how you can use a 4 point scale even in a traditional grade book. Okay. So I get it. I moved to a new district, just like a lot of you, where there's a 0 to 100 or an A through F scale, and those are non negotiable. Okay. But rest assured, you can still grade for mastery by starting with a 4 point rubric and then translating it. Okay. So here's what your 4 point scale could look like. And you can kind of use your own words here. But the level one, the basic level is beginning, right? So this is where your students, they're missing some major understanding. They've made some critical errors. They're at the very beginning stages of learning this. In stage two, that could be more like developing, right? So they've got some understanding present in their work, but there's some major misconceptions that are still remaining. Okay. Level three would be proficient. This is where I want my students to get to. They're meeting the expectations. They can apply the concept with minor errors and with support. They are proficient. They are good with this. Number four could be advanced or mastery. I've heard people use different terms for it. It goes beyond expectations, right? You can give a clear explanation. There's connections, there's accuracy, there's creativity, right? So it's gone above and beyond what that 4 or what that 3 level is. 3 is what you're trying to teach you. You're trying to get everyone proficient. You want them to meet your expectations. 4 means that they have gone above and beyond that. So you can then convert your 4 points into your district's required scale. For example, a lot of teachers will use 4 as 100%. Love that because they have gone above and beyond. They've given 100% effort to learning this. 3, I've seen at 85. I've seen it at 90. Kind of just, go with your gut, what you think on that. 2, a 70 or a 75. It's kind of that C range, like they're getting the gist of it, right? But they're not fully there, right? They're still developing. That's what a 2 is. And then a 1 is either like a 55 or a 60. I kind of like going with the 60 because they've demonstrated something, right? Something more than just nothing. So that's kind of how I would do it. So I like 40 I like 4.0 as 100. I like 3 to be the 90 range, 2 at like 75, and 1 is a 60. Okay. So this method allows me to then maintain those grading practices that I believe in while keeping the traditional system happy, right? And what you can always do, like bonus tip with those advanced fours, right? You can nudge them into those challenge problems, connections, stretching their thinking, getting them to do some maybe even like genius hours stuff, or you can encourage them to be teacher leaders, teacher helpers, or student helpers in the classroom. So good for this. Okay. So here's what I like to do with these. I like to run mastery checks and I like to use retakes. So let's talk logistics of these things. To keep things super manageable, after all the lessons I have done, I would use mastery checks, right? They're short, they're focused assessments on specific skills. Think, maybe it's even as small as 2 problems, 5 problems, 4 problems. There's not a lot of problems on there, okay? It's something that should be able to be done in 10 minutes or less. And it's super, super, super targeted. So it's like just slope, just solving quadratics, just graphing the line, right? You are hyper focusing on one skill, right? Kind of like standards based grading, mastery grading. You're focusing on just one skill here, okay? These are not unit tests. They're really quick snapshots that answer, does the student know this skill yet? And to what extent do they know it? And yes, okay, for all of these, I would always allow retakes. But here's a couple of things that made that sustainable. One, your students need to complete a reflection or a practice before reattempting. They need to do something to prove that they have gone beyond what they were already required to do, and that they have done more practice to relearn and remaster the material. Right? I only assessed on that like specific skill, so not like a whole test. Again, these are mastery checks. These are mini quizzes. I could give them a new one, right? And I update the score if there's growth. I don't average it. If you got a better score because you've demonstrated higher mastery, you get the better score. You have demonstrated higher mastery, okay? No averaging in this system. And because it's a mastery-based system, right? We care about where our students end up, not where they started, okay? It's always good to see your growth, but I don't need that to average in and affect their grading, okay? Their grade for the class. All right, you guys. So, here's your challenge for the week. I want you to pick one concept you're teaching soon. And even if you don't run a 4-point mastery scale on it, I want you to make a mastery check. Okay. So, write a short mastery check for it. Decide what the 1 through 4 would look like if you're going to be doing a 1 through 4 scale. Try it out and watch how your grading starts to reflect learning, not just compliance, right? Okay. You can use mastery based grading in a traditional system. You can use it in all sorts of systems. I've used it in a fully PBL school, in a competency based school. I've learned how to use it in a very traditional district. You can use it no matter what system you have. You just need to start small and stay clear on your purpose. And if you're looking for more help and support, figuring out how to do mastery based grading and how to write these scales, I have a whole free guide that I'm going to link for you down here in the show notes. You can get that. You can read through what mastery means, how to write these, how to write your scales. I'll give you all the guidance and everything you need on that. And I'm super excited for you to give that a try. Again, I'm going to link that down here in the show notes. Whew. All right, you guys. That's a wrap for me on this October day. It's 87 degrees, weirdly, here in Michigan. So I'm actually going to go head back out to the pool today. And until next time, you guys keep it real. I'm going to go keep it real cool. Bye, guys.